Hello and welcome to DrayTek Vigor 3912 video series. My name is Seshu and I'm part of DVCOM support and training team. In this video, I'm going to show it to you how to do the basic setup of your Vigor 3912 router as per our case study number 1. So before I proceed for my case study number 1, we already discussed about how to change the port setup. Then after that, we saw how to upgrade the latest firmware. Then after that, how to change the password, the default password, how to change the date and time, how to go to the management interface, from there how to change your default ports and all. So from this lab I'm going to show it to you my lab scenario. So you can see here, this is my lab scenario. I have a Vigor 3912 router and I have a Vigor switch. So my plan of action is that I want to connect the WAN interface on port number 5. So port number 5, I'm going to connect to the WAN interface. By the way, my internet connection is a DHCP connection. Okay. So if you want to set up the internet connection, you can set up as PPPoE, point to point protocol over Ethernet, or if you want to set up as a DHCP, you can set up your Vigor 3912 is going to act as a DHCP client and your service provider is going to act as a DHCP server. In case if you want to set up as a static public IP, you can set it up. So these three methods we are going to support. Then after that, the LAN interface, which is connecting to my Vigor switch on port number 9. So this is like a plain network, guys. I don't have any VLANs or anything because it's a plain network. So as you know that the default IP address for the DrayTek router is 192.168.1.1, and by default the DHCP is enabled for this network and the default username is admin and the default password is admin. So already I did the changes in my previous video, but if you are a fresher or if you are seeing first time my videos and if you don't know how to access your DrayTek router, and these are the default settings, guys. Okay, so now this is my laptop policy. So as I told you, the port number 9 I'm going to use it for LAN. Port number 5 I'm going to use it for WAN. That's it. So now I want to decide like which subnet I want to use it for my internal network. So I've decided that I want to go with 192.168. Let's say 10.0 subnet, and 10.1 I'm planning to give as the IP address, and I want to enable the DHCP, and I want to give a DNS as 4.2.2.2 and secondary DNS as 8.8.8.8. So this is what I'm going to do. And here I just want to mention, guys, you can see port number 9 to port number 12. Port number 9 to port number 12. I am going to use it for LAN. By default, those ports are the LAN ports. So right now my PC is connected here on port number 12. Okay, my PC is connected here. And as you know that the default IP address that I got it from my DrayTek router is 192.168.1.10. Okay, now I'm going to do the changes, guys. Let's go and do it. So again, I just want to repeat it for you. I'm planning to change my LAN subnet as 192.168.10 subnet, and 10.1 I'm planning to give. And by the way, I want to reserve some IP addresses, guys, from 10.1 to 10.100. I want to reserve it. Okay, so that whenever the LAN user, if he requests for IP address, then he is going to get the IP address is 10.101, and this guy is going to get 10.102. If third person asks, 10.103. Why? Because I have reserved the IP addresses from 10.1 to 10.100. So this is my starting and this is my ending. That's the reservation, guys. Okay, and that's it. Let's go and do it now. So first of all, let's go and access my DrayTek router. So to access my DrayTek router, it's very simple and straightforward, guys. Open the browser. type the IP address. So it's https colon colon 192.168.1.1 colon 8443. Then type the username as admin, type the password, which is my latest password. Then after that, you can go to the LAN. Click on the general setup. And you can see here, I have only one LAN, one interface is there. And by default, it's enabled. And the DHCP is enabled. And the IP address is 192.168.1.1. And here I want to talk about something new, guys. You can see here, the LAN 1 it's showing. Okay. This is like you consider like a virtual interface. Why? Because under this LAN interface, I have a four physical interfaces are there, right? What are those? There are P9, P10, P11, and P12. So as I told you, these four interfaces are belongs to a LAN. These physical interfaces. These virtual interface, the LAN one, which is representing all these physical interfaces. So that if you want to configure it, either you can connect on port number 9 or port number 10 or port number 11 or port number 12. The choice is yours, guys. So there is no problem for it. So now I want to show it to you one more thing. Just go to the dashboard here. See in the dashboard, what it's showing here, all these interfaces from port number 1 to port number 8, I have changed it as a WAN ports. So this is what I showed to you previously. So these are the WAN ports and these four ports are the LAN ports. So if you want to configure it, your DrayTek router, either you can connect on port number 9, port number 10 or 11 or 12, it doesn't matter. So at the end of the day, you can see here, go to the LAN, click on general setup, and LAN 1 is your virtual interface, which is representing all these physical interfaces. So that's the beauty of that. So now you can click on the details page. Then you can see here, it's saying that what's the description. So I'm going to say, hey, it's my internal network. It's my internal network, and which I'm going to configure with 192.168.10. And what's the IP address? Oh, again, you can see here it's for NAT usage. Yes, NAT usage is nothing but whoever connected to this IP address subnet, they can able to access to the internet. Means they are going to translate with your public IP and they will go and access the internet. So I'm going to give 192.168.10.1 and which is /24. Then after that, we can see here in the DHCP server, if you want, you can disable it so that I don't want a DHCP server act as my router. So some customers, guys, keep in your mind, for example, okay, this is the local network. This is my switch. And from here, I connected to my DrayTek router and my DrayTek router is connected to internet. Okay. So some customers, what they do, they don't want to configure the DrayTek router is going to act as a DHCP. So there is no DHCP. They don't want it. Then how? Some customers, maybe they like to give static IP address, which means they go each and every PC and they will assign the IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, preferred DNS, alternate DNS manually. But it's like a risky and sometimes it may create some conflict. But some customers, what they do, they will keep some separate DHCP server. It's their choice. So let's say that you can install Active Directory, and inside the Active Directory you can enable the DHCP service. Yeah, the same server is going to act as a DHCP server, and same server it's going to enable with DHCP service. Then after that, what they do, they will keep into the network. Then you can see here, these are the PC1, PC2, okay, and PC3, like that. You get my point? And these pieces, what they do, they just talk to DHCP server. As you know, the DHCP process is a DORA process. Discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. So each and every PC will say, hey, are you the DHCP server? Yes, buddy, I am the DHCP. Can I have IP address? Okay, take it, buddy. No problem. So this DHCP, everybody can talk to the DHCP server and they will get the IP address from the DHCP server. So in case if you don't want your DrayTek router is going to act as a DHCP server, you can disable it. In case if you want to enable it, you can enable it. And this is your relay agent. So the relay agent means, hey, I have a DHCP server buddy in my network, then I can give what's the IP address of the DHCP server. So you can see here they are giving two options, the first DHCP server IP and second DHCP server IP. So in case this guy is fail, and it will get the IP address from this guy. That's what the main plan. So thanks to DrayTek guys, they have very good opportunities, like very good options, so that the customer can configure according to their choice. So now I want to enable the DHCP. So I want to start the IP address as I told you guys, 10.101. Then what about 10.1 to 10.100? Those are reserved guys. 10.1 to 10.100. These are the reserved range. Reserved. So if anybody asks the IP address, then your DrayTek router will tell you, hey, you take it from 10.101. The second person can take it 10.102. The third person can take it 10.103, 104, 105. Like this, you can go up to where? Then you can go 10.254. Then 10.255 is my broadcast ID. I can't give this IP address, guys. And as you know that the 10.0 is your network ID and 10.255 is your broadcast ID. In between, whatever IP addresses are there, these are the valid IP addresses. So this is what exactly how it's going to work. Okay, guys. Now what I'm going to do now, so as per my lab topology, I want to give my gateway as 10.1. Then after that, my primary DNS server is 4.2.2 and my secondary DNS is 8.8.8. Then after that, you can click OK. Now the IP range is used by LAN 10. The overlapping subnets will be adjusted automatically. Oh, what is this, man? Do you want to continue? I don't know. What is this? Let's go and check it now quickly, guys. Okay, go to the VLAN. And you can see here there is a VLAN number 10, 11, 12, 13. There is some VLANs are there. And once you enable this, because in my next video I will talk about these VLANs, guys. Okay, now I will talk about these VLANs in my next video. Okay, so what we are going to do now, at the moment I don't want to disturb that. Okay, to make you understand, I will change this subnet into different. So for the example now, let's go back to my, okay, no need to go there. So simply I will show it to you here itself. I'm going to change it to 192.168.200.0 subnet I'm planning to use. Then after that, I want to change it to the gateway as 200.1, and I'm going to start from 200.101. Okay, that is the IP address pool. Okay, I can say that this is my pool, so that if anybody asks you the IP address, I can start from 200.101. The second IP address will be 200.102.103, like that. So from 200.1 to 200.100 is my reserved IPs. Okay, guys, and this is the range for the result. And I'm going to start the IP addresses from 200.101 to 102.103 till it will go to 200.254. Okay, guys. Okay, let's go and do that. So how to do that? It's very simple and straightforward. Click on the details page. Then after that, I'm going to say this is my LAN network. I can say like that. And it's going to start with 192.168.200. The IP address that I'm going to give 200.1, and I want to start the IP address is 200.101. I just need 50 IP addresses, and the default gateway is 200.1, and lease time it's 24 hours. It's okay. If you want to decrease or increase, it's up to you guys. You can do that. And 4.2.2.2. So it's already there. 8.8.8.8. Thank you. Then after that, say okay. Now see here, the current router's first LAN IP address is 192.168.1.1 was changed to 200.1. Do you want to continue to save? The new configuration will take effect after reboot the router. Oh, go ahead. Okay, no problem. Say okay. Just wait for a few seconds. It's going to be reboot and it will come back. So it's going to take 25 seconds. So meanwhile, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause this video. So I want to show it to you one more thing, guys. Meanwhile, I just open my command prompt and I'm typing 192.168.200.1 and just wait now whether it picked the IP address or not. Okay, and you see here, my browser is trying with the old IP address. Okay, because my browser doesn't know that that IP address got changed. Okay, guys. So still you can see here I'm trying to, this browser is trying with 1.1 and finally it says that, oh, this site cannot be reached. Why? Because I have changed the IP address of my DrayTek router. That's the reason. Okay, guys. So now what I'm going to do now, just wait for a few seconds. And one more thing I want to mention, guys, in case if you see here, I'm not getting the IP address. Why? Let's go and check. Maybe you have assigned the static IP. That's also one more reason. Go to the run, type ncpa.cpl. So right click, then go to the properties. This is my LAN interface. Then after that, you can go to TCP IP, click on properties. Oh, you can see, guys, it's actually configured with static IP address. So I need to say obtain an IP address automatically, even the DNS, so that now my PC can talk to my router and it's going to get the IP address. Say okay, say close. Now just wait. Oh, congratulations, immediately I got the IP. Let's go and check what IP address I got it. Close this window, stop this ping. Then after that, type the IP config. I got the IP address as 192.168.200.101 as I expected. Now close this guy. Then after that, here you can just change to 200. Sorry, man. Enter. Then after that, it's going to take few seconds. Then click on advanced. Then proceed anyway. Then enter the username and enter the new password. Don't forget it. There you go. So far you guys can see here, I have changed my LAN successfully. Now I just want to know whether I got the internet or not. No, I didn't get the internet. Now what I told you guys, I want to connect port number 5. So just go to my lab topology. So as per my lab topology, I need to connect my internet connection on port number 5. Let's go and do that. So right now I'm going to connect directly. So just a minute, guys. There you go. So it's on port number 1, port number 2, port number 3, port number 4, and port number 5. So now I have connected. So let's go and check it now. What is going on behind the scenes? Let's go and see here. Thank you very much. Open the browser and you can see here, guys, surprising. See port number 5, which is WAN 5. And it's act as a DHCP client, and the interface is it's a Ethernet interface, and it got the IP address 192.168.254.137. Hey, what is this, man? This is not a public IP. This is your local IP. Is it correct? Yes, it's local IP, guys, because I forgot to tell you the secret here. Let's go and check it now. So the secret is that actually in my home, actually I'm recording from my home. Okay, so now this port number 5, which is connected to my home router. Okay, that home router is connected to my service provider. Get my point, guys? So right now if I remove this connection and if I put it here in my home, everybody come and ask me, hey, we are not getting internet, buddy, what did you do? So that's why I don't want to do that. So what I did, you just consider yourself, this is directly connecting to service provider. Okay, so indirectly what happened here, this is my router which is connecting to internet. Okay, so here what I did, I configured 192.168.254.0 network, and I given my router IP address is 192.168.254.1. That's the IP address of my router, and I have enabled the DHCP. Okay, so now My main router is going to act as a DHCP server. So he is my service provider, and the DrayTek is going to act as my DHCP client. I hope everybody is clear what I'm trying to talk, guys. That's why whenever you connected on port number 5, immediately it got the IP address from my DHCP server. Okay, let's go and check it one more time, guys. Okay, it got the IP address. So that's why just minimize this, open the browser, and you can see here it got the IP. But in case sometimes you just go to the WAN setup, you can see here there is a click on the WAN, click on the general setup. Then after that, you can see here WAN 5. So from here, what you can do, if you want to disable or if you want to enable it, you can do it from here. And one more thing, guys, I want to tell you something very interesting. And especially in Dubai, whenever you apply for internet connection, especially for residential, then service provider nowadays, most of the time, he's giving the VLAN ID. So that's why service provider will tell you, hey, don't use my router, man. Don't use your router. Don't use our router. So we are going to provide it for you. But your customer said that, no, I like to go with DrayTek because DrayTek has a lot of features and I want to use the DrayTek router. That time what you can do, simply you can just go to your WAN interface and you can see here there is a VLAN tag insertion. Did you see here? Then select here enable, then specify the VLAN tag. That's it. That's the beauty of DrayTek, guys. Because if you go with other vendors, oh my god, you need to access through SSH. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to reboot. You need to enable it. Oh my god, I don't want to talk about many things. So that's the beauty of your DrayTek router. Then you can say here, from here, what you can do, go to the WAN, click on the general setup. If you want to enable or disable, you can just click on the general setup and do it from here. Now I want to configure my internet access. Then for that, go to the WAN 5, which is port number 5. You can see here it's showing clearly. Then after that, click on the details page. So in the details page, by default, you can see here, there is a PPPoE, then static or dynamic, and IPv6. So PPPoE, as I told you guys, some service providers, PPPoE is nothing but point-to-point protocol over the Ethernet. Okay, so they will provide you the username and password. You just enter the username and password. That's it. Don't do anything, guys. But before that, just click on enable it and you can do it. But still, my connection is a dynamic, so that I don't want to go in this section. So my section is not this, so I don't want to go for it. So my section is static or dynamic. So once you go to the static or dynamic, you can see here, if it is a disable, you just click on enable, and you can see something surprise here, obtain an IP address automatically. So this guy is going to act as a DHCP client and is going to talk to my DHCP server, use my service provider, then is going to get one IP address. Did you see here? And in case if service provider said to you, no, I want to give you a static IP address, just select here and specify everything statically. So whatever IP address your service provider has given to you, just enter the IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DNS server primary, and DNS server secondary. It's up to you guys. Yeah. So make sure that whenever you got the internet connection from your service provider, your connection should be one of them, like either PPPoE or static or dynamic. So right now my connection is a dynamic, so I have selected this. I hope everybody is clear. So in case if you want to change your router name, I can say that DVCOM Vigor 3912. Okay, then you can click OK. Then it will ask you, do you want to reboot? Yes, go and reboot it, buddy. No problem for me. And meanwhile, what I will do, I will open the command prompt and I will check 192.168.200.1, because always the engineers, they just want to know what's happening, so they don't want to wait, so that I can see that if I get a reply from my DrayTek router, I can know that, oh, I got a reply, which means my router is up and running. That's beautiful. Okay, then click on username as admin, password is my old, which I changed, guys. Yeah, that's it. Now after I got the internet, you can see whenever I log in at first time, as I told you, P12 is connected my laptop directly, is going to act as my LAN, and P5 which is connected to the internet directly. So the choice is yours, nothing to worry. Now the third thing I want to tell you, one more observation. Go to the diagnostics, click on the routing table. You can see guys, whenever you get the public IP from your service provider, it's a dynamic public IP, then automatically the service provider, he will send the default route. See here, the default route is injected in your router as well. So that this default route, what it will tell you, in case if you want to access the internet, any request come. For example, one of the user is saying that I want to go Facebook, I want to go Google, I want to go YouTube, or I want to go DrayTek.com. I want to access different websites. All the requests, what it will do, it will come to your router. So there's a sequence, guys, right? You know the sequence. Let me show it to you again. Let me show it to you the sequence. So for example, this is my PC. The PC, what it will do, it's connected to my network switch, and the network switch is connected to my DrayTek router. The DrayTek router is connected to internet, right? So whenever this guy, if you say that I want to go to Google, or I want to go to YouTube, or I want to go to Facebook, or I want to go to DrayTek.com, any website, guys, then the request will come to switch, then switch is going to send it to the router, then router you will send it to internet. When the return traffic coming from ISP, the router will receive it. Let's change the color. Okay, the ISP will forward to, oh sorry guys, why it's not changed. Okay, it will send it to my router. The router, what it will do, it will send it to the switch to the specific PC. You get my point? So this is what exactly. So here what router is doing here, those things we will discuss about later. But for you, I don't want to keep you in excitement. I want to tell you the router will do NAT. NATing is nothing but network address translation. So whenever the request coming from your internal network from the LAN, it will translate with your public IP and it will send it to the internet. So your public IP is a routable IP addresses. So that whenever the request will go as a public IP, your ISP knows that, oh, this public IP belongs to this customer. So that the return traffic has sent it to the specific router. Then the router, it will maintain the NAT table. Then based on that, it will forward to the specific user. That's what exactly, guys, how the technology is going to work. So anyway, nothing to worry. These are the basic things that you need to understand. But now I want to confirm whether I'm getting the internet or not. How? Let's go to ncpa.cpl. Let's disable my Wi-Fi. Oh, it's already disabled. Thank you very much. But for you guys to confirmation, I'm going to disable. There is no active internet connection. Okay, let's refresh this. Say it's disabled. Now this is my LAN. Okay, and right now this is connected to my DrayTek router. So let's go and type ping 4.2.2. Congratulations, thank you very much. And now I need to open the website. So it's very simple. Click on the plus sign, you will get a new tab, then type www.draytek.com. Wow, thanks to DrayTek. Go to the products, click on the VPN routers. I want to know what are the VPN routers are. I can browse. See, all the traffic is passing through my DrayTek router. So I want to know more about my Vigor 3912. I love Vigor 3912, guys. It's one of the upgraded router. Yeah. So you can see here what are the specs and how many NAT sessions is going to support. Wow, lot of information, guys, so that if you are finding any challenges, you can just open your specifications and you can see it. And accessories, wow, this is going to support, as I told you guys, this is your DAC cable, right? And this is your transceiver, SFE plus transceiver, guys. In case if you don't want to use the DAC cable, maybe it's very far, your DrayTek, the switch is here and your another switch is here in different IDF room, so that I cannot use the DAC cable there, so that I can just buy the transceivers and I can connect it. Yeah. And if you want to know more about the specifications, you just click on that, you will get the more information on that. Yeah. And and if you want to see the resources and all, so that if you want to download the latest firmware, or if you want to see the release notes, or if you want to see the live demo, this is one more interesting thing, guys. Just click on the live demo. So some customers, especially they just want to know, man, what are the features are there, how DrayTek 3912 has, what interfaces it has, and what are the, in case if I go to the routing, what are the options are there, in NAT what are the options are there. Some people, they may ask you these kind of questions, so nothing to worry. You just tell them that, sir, I'll share you the live link, demo live, so you can go to the support. In another way to do that, just go to the live demo. You will find all the routers, guys. That's the beauty of really, that's why I love the DrayTek a lot, because they will give you a lot of options to you. Then you can choose whatever router you want to test, or whatever switch you want to see the interface, how it looks like and all. You can see, just click on that, you can go for it. Yeah. So this is what, guys, exactly how I did the basic setup of your LAN and WAN interfaces. And also I have enabled the DHCP as well and DNS as well. And we discussed many of the things. I hope this is very informative for everyone, guys. For sales related, please send us an email, sales@datavoice.com. For support, please send us an email, support@datavoice.com. I hope this has been informative, and I would like to thank you for viewing.